touch this. You can't touch this. Break it down. Stop. Hammer time.
Welcome to this week's episode of Talking Footy. I'm your host Sean, with me as always, Detective Shovelton himself.
Thanks, Shorto. Last weekend had some bumper games, but a few blokes ended up in the casualty ward. There were more people going down than a Swedish flesh film.
Yeah, but we actually do have a bit of footage of what happened at one of the clubs, their recovery session.
Ooh. Ouch! It all kicked off on Anzac Day when the Roosters downed the Steelers. Melbourne asked their way and did they what to a win against the Warriors. South were top shelf when they downed Manly at Brookvale. North Queensland outclassed Canberra, and I'll definitely admit that, they surely did. Brisbane finished on top of a disappointing Tigers outfit. The Bulldogs kick-started their season by beating the Sharks here, and it's about time they started going good. Newcastle topped the Gold Coast, and Penrith proved too good in the Battle of the West against Parramatta.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Oh, it was smashing.
I tell you what, that seems the top four teams are actually starting to pull away from the rest.
Yeah, it's been a few seasons since that's actually happened.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, unless Melbourne, South, Manly, or surprisingly the Roosters are playing, the games actually seem to be pretty poor. Yeah, I don't think this year has been as close as others.
No doubt, no doubt.
Right.
But, I don't know, there seems to be a lot of teams close to the bottom.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, yes, I'm just not going to argue with you at all. Let's get to our favourite topic of the show, yours too. Who's shit house and who's shit hot? Dan, fire away.
Mate, shit hot this week has to be, and I read it today, that Sam McKendry managed to crack 2 vertebrae in his back in the first half against Penrith versus Parramatta there, and soldiered on until full time.
Yeah.
And just sterling effort, you know, what can I say?
We met him a couple of times.
We have.
He looks like the kind of bloke who could punch you out for your lollipop at the age of 3. Like, jeez, yeah, his neck, fractured neck. Nah, it's alright.
Whatever.
Pussies.
Yeah, should be right. It's been reported that he didn't even realise until after the game, and the adrenaline come down and his pain set in. He's like, oh, seems to have done yourself a mischief. But shit house, speaking of the Penrith Parramatta game, was Parramatta. Even Sticky Ricky didn't have any excuses, you know. No referees were fine, and for Jared Hayne looks like he was about to ball after that, you know, and he's just wondering why he keeps playing with these consistent wooden spooners.
Not that topical, just factual.
Yeah, well that's it, what can I say? Sean, what about you? Shit house, shit hot.
Shit house would have to be Richie Fioso.
Absolutely.
This journeyman forward thought he could nullify South superstar Greg Inglis by simply spearing him into the ground. Obviously it didn't seem to work because GI decided to bust out with a great individual solo try. Sure. So, you know, if first you don't succeed, try and spear him again. Yeah. I mean, seriously, that's a low move. He should have got a lot more than the 8 weeks.
Considering he had all those carryover points from that shoulder charge.
Yeah, what a moron.
Yeah,
he already used his get out of jail free card with the Ashley Harrison thing. So he's a very lucky man, but he's also a very stupid man. Hopefully if something ever happens again in this year for his career, he faces a good lengthy stint on the sideline.
That's poor form.
Mate, shit hot though. Is Broncos back rower and utility Matt Gillette.
Sure is.
Now, although he could never be accused, or confused, sorry. He could never be accused of one either, but he'd never be confused with a male model. He is definitely
so hot right now.
Mate, he will be pushing for a starting berth of the Queensland team this year, and well, that is bad news for us, New South Welshman. He could even be pushing for a World Cup berth in the year.
True.
Well.
Flying under the radar this week was the return of the game of Kangaroos winger Jarrell Yei. Yo. The poor bastard has had more surgery on his leg than he has had hot lunches. Hot dinners, I believe it is, but hot lunches works too. He made his comeback for his...
You're more likely to have a hot dinner than you are a hot lunch.
That's true, I guess.
This guy.
Yeah, well, but that's the joke. He made his comeback for his junior club in Queensland, but I'm sure he'd be keen to get back in first grade ASAP.
Oh, mate. Well, it could be a while yet anyway for Jarrell. Good to see him back. Although he didn't make his return, he didn't make it in the uncustomary position for him, the second row.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got a bit of kilos to shed and match fitness to get up. Apparently, he only lasted the first 15 minutes. He was blowing hard, harder than Pamela Anderson on a yacht, apparently. He's still young, and he's showed previously that he is determined and strong, so it shouldn't be too long till we see him back in the top grade. Now is the part of the show where we whisk ourselves back in time in reminiscing. Dan,
Yes.
remember shoulder pads?
Yes. Back when players actually used their shoulder to make a tackle,
Oh,
they needed protection. Yeah.
geez, I miss those days.
Yeah.
Oh, I really
It looked
do.
ridiculous, but it was...
Oh, I miss the days when people would use their shoulder to make a tackle.
Yeah. Seems so long ago. That could be a reminiscing subject all on its own.
No, back in the 80s, back then, you know, when people were born, good-looking people, the shoulder pads were so bad, it looks as if they were made out of old cow paddles.
Well, the perfect example for this is former Cronulla centre and gladiator Mark McGraw.
Oh, yeah.
Which
McGraw.
McGraw.
Not McGraw.
I said McGraw. Which, look at these things. Yeah, come on, mate. Look at this. Look at these things.
Oh, shocking.
Mate, it's the Michelin Man. Okay.
It looks inflatable.
Yeah. Mate, I like to be standing at sea with him. We use him as a raft.
Oh, mate, it's funny how he inspired the Morris twins with a no neck look.
Oh yeah. Early days.
Yeah. Love it. Now, during the week, I was contacted by about donating some old jerseys to a fund. Well, bloke who's about to make a trip over to Tonga, actually give them all out. See, this week we've decided to go away from our normal NRL ones back to club footy. Who you got there, mate?
I got the one for Magpies.
Yeah, Winnie Lee's looking good. I've got the Grey Stains Devils ones on.
Devils.
So guys, if you if you have any jerseys, you know, send them our way. Because normally when someone contacts me about, normally my only other bit of charity, to be honest, is just, you know, handing over the change when I'm pissed at that bloke on the corner.
Yeah. And talking footy, of course.
Oh, that's, of course,
We give it to you for free.
Oh, yeah. And it is a charity. Trust me. Anyhow, I looked through my closet, so I noticed I've got a fair few, so I'm going to give about 6-7 jerseys over. I mean, this makes a big difference to the kids, so if you've got any, help us out.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Absolutely. A lot of these kids love the game, but don't have any money to buy the proper jerseys for their favourite teams. So come on, you tight asses. Help us by giving any of your jerseys you don't need. It's a worthy cause and doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly. Free of charge. You just got to give me the jerseys.
Yeah. Come on, hand them up.
Now, speaking of jerseys, thanks so far, everyone, for your...
Stellar suggestions.
Oh, yeah. I love you, fact, you're putting forward these ideas. They're beautiful. Brilliant. Some horrendous. Some horrendously awesome. But we're only a few weeks away from narrowing the field down to the Magic 5, the top 5. Then you will all get a chance to vote, and the winner will also be in with a chance of that
Mystery prize. Mystery. During the week, Parramatta announced the signing of 2 Pommy forwards for next year.
Which we're going to lead into this week's hot topic. Over the years, the player drain to the English Super League has caused many clubs to sweat bullets around contract time.
Yep.
But now the tide has turned.
It has.
Due to a change in British superannuation laws and also the incredibly strong Australian dollar, blokes are deciding to stay home. And now their English counterparts are coming by the truckload.
Crack at the top grade, yeah.
Yeah. Mate, Adrian Morley paved the way for the likes of Gareth Ellis and the Burgess brothers. And now others are following suit. I say keep them coming. Word is superstar English fullback Sam Tompkins isn't too far away from signing with an NRL club, as well as some other exciting outside backs. Fingers crossed Ryan Hall, whose nickname, well, obviously they don't think much of him as his nickname is World's Best Winger, decides to ply his trade down under because, well, we have the best league and this is where the best players should be. If you guys don't remember Ryan Hall, by the way, a few years ago, 2 years ago in a test match, Billy Slater try to tackle him before he scored, and he broke Billy Slater. He actually broke his collarbone. Slater was gone.
We can all be fans of him for that.
Oh yeah, Ryan Hall. Apparently his coach reckons that he looks at a barbell and his bicep grows. He's a really good player, so hopefully most of that come over. Not that much of a hot topic, but I want to see more Pommies here, because not all the Pommies, just the good ones, because as I said, we have the best league and we deserve the best players.
Absolutely. I mean, look at the Burgess brothers. A classic example of recent times of Pommies coming over here. There's 3 of them playing for South at the moment. One's injured, unfortunately, Luke there, but George and Sam are having a cracker at the moment. And younger brother Tom is in the reserve grades trying to crack up into the top grade. 4 big Burgess front rowers in the South Sydney pack. When that comes to be, it's going to be scary.
Oh yeah. You know what would be even scarier? Being at a pizza place when they order. I'll have 4 large pizzas, I'll have 3 garlic breads and chicken wings. What do you boys want? Love it. Time for the tips of the week. Dan, who do you like?
Mate, I was wrong last week. I will be the first to admit it, but this week everything's coming up Millhouse.
The house always
Oh
wins.
yes it does. And in saying that the house always wins, it's going to be Canberra 13 plus over Melbourne Storm. You heard it here first.
Wow.
I'll be betting my bottom dollar, as in the only dollar that I have, on Canberra 13 plus.
That's why it's bottom.
It's at the bottom. It's also at the top.
No, the ones from the bottom.
Yeah. There you've heard it. Sean, what are you tipping?
Oh mate, that's a pretty good call too. Terry Campe's his first game back as starter.
Yeah.
So he backs himself. I like it. Mate, this week Jennings faces up to his former club. Now, remember early in the show where we went back in time and reminiscing? Well, I stole the DeLorean and decided to go forward in time. Let's have a look what I saw about what's happening this weekend. Ooh, it's gripping stuff. Penrith have always lived for the Roosters game ever since the pricks stole Freddie, Gus and Matt Singh in one fell swoop. So I'm tipping the Panthers 1-12 in an upset. Another week, another solid gold performance. If someone would say champagne, internet footage. This show is brought to you by the good fellows over at Josh Services for all your security needs, and also the eBay store Phillips 79. All footage you see on this show is from his fantastic library, so go ahead and buy some yourselves.
That's it. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and jump onto www.talkingfooty.com for all your for all of your footballing needs, your footy tipping and forums and getting into each other about all sorts of internet skullduggery.
Yes. And on that classy note,
It is the internet, by the way.
I believe we'll finish.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
And that's the end of that chapter.